I'm about to plug in this fan to test whether blowing on this sail will move the boat forward. And then I'm flying 4,000 miles to the equator, where I'm actually standing in both the northern and southern hemispheres, because this line here is the equator. And I'm here to investigate whether or not this demo for tourists is actually a scam. Basically, they pour water in this basin, and on the north side of the equator, it seems to swirl and drain counterclockwise, but just a few feet away in the southern hemisphere, the water seems to drain in the exact opposite direction. It's sort of like how you also might have heard toilets flush in opposite directions on different sides of the equator, and we're here to uncover the truth. But I'm not stopping there, because today we're going to investigate 6 other physics and engineering puzzles using simple demonstrations as we go, because our goal by the end of this video is for you not just to know the right answers, but more importantly, for you to understand why they're the right answers. To kick things off, speaking of hemispheres, did you know the moon in the sky looks like this in the northern hemisphere, like in Canada, but it looks like this in the southern hemisphere, like in Australia? It's upside down! And while that is a fun fact, it's even more fun to understand why. And this is why. As we all know, the Earth is a sphere. So if you were Superman standing at the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, you'd look like this. But if you were Thor standing in the southern hemisphere in Antarctica, you'd look like this. Now, of course, the moon over here orbits around the Earth like this, and I'm gonna add an arrow to it to help us with orientation. And so to Superman at the North Pole, that arrow would point up, but from the perspective of Thor at the South Pole, that arrow would point down from his perspective. And now I know what you're thinking. If all that's true, then which way would the arrow point if you're Spider-Man standing here at the equator? Well, according to our model here, it should be sideways. And sure enough, here in Ecuador at the equator, I'm happy to report that the moon does in fact appear to